Still don't know whether my mother threw me out of the house that day or erased me from her heart completely. But there's one thing I understand now. That savings book was never lost. It was hidden. And the person who hid it was my own brother. Until you bring that book back, don't step foot in this house again. The door closed. Not loudly, not violently, just final. And in that quiet sound, my life split into two parts. One, where I was someone's daughter, and one where I was just an accusation. Have you ever felt like you don't belong in your own home? Not hated, not exactly. Just unnecessary. Like an extra chair at the table no one really needs. That was me. My mother loved my brother Ayan, not in a secret way, in a way that everyone could see. Except her. He was her pride, her comfort, her perfect child. And me? I was the comparison. Look at Ayan. He's so responsible. Why can't you be more like him? I heard those words so often. They stopped hurting. Not because they didn't matter, but because I started believing them. Still, I tried. I really did. There's something about children. No matter how ignored they feel, they keep trying to earn love. I remember one day clearly, 9th grade. I stood first in my entire school. I walked home holding that result sheet like it was proof. Proof that maybe finally I was enough. Mom, look. She took the paper, glanced at it, and said, okay, that was it. Then she turned to Ayan. Did you eat, Beta? Come, I made your favorite. Something inside me didn't break that day. It just adjusted, like lowering the volume on hope. But I had no idea that the real test of my life hadn't even started yet. The savings book. It was small, just a thin bank booklet. But to my mother, it was everything. Years of savings, security, control. She kept it locked in her cupboard. Or at least, she thought she did. The day it went missing started like any other. I came home tired, dropped my bag, and walked toward the kitchen. That's when I heard her voice. Sharp, panicked. It was right here. I checked yesterday. I stepped in slowly. Ayan was already there, leaning against the wall. Quiet, watching. What happened? I asked. Mom turned to me instantly. The savings book is gone. I frowned. Maybe you kept it somewhere else. I don't forget things, she snapped. And then Ayan spoke, calm, casual, almost careful. Well, no one comes into the house except us. It wasn't a direct accusation. It was worse. It was a suggestion. And then he looked at me. Something shifted in that moment, like a decision had already been made, before I even opened my mouth. I didn't take it, I said immediately. No one replied. That silence. It wasn't confusion. It was judgment. The house turned upside down. Drawers opened. Clothes thrown around. Every corner searched, except the one place that mattered. The truth. Then Ayan said it. Check her bag. My heart dropped. Are you serious? I asked. Mom didn't even look at me. Give it. My hands were shaking, but I handed over my bag. Because I knew I hadn't done anything. She emptied it onto the floor. Books, pens, and that same result sheet, now crumpled. No savings book. Nothing. For a second, I thought this was it. The moment everything would go back to normal. But it didn't. Where is it? She asked quietly. I told you. I didn't take it. Don't lie to me. I'm not lying. Then how did it disappear? I didn't have an answer. And the truth is, they weren't looking for one. They were looking for someone to blame. And that someone was me, until you bring it back. You're not staying in this house. I froze. You can't be serious. She didn't even look at me. But I undid. And in his eyes, for the first time, I saw something I couldn't understand back then. Relief, like everything was going exactly how he wanted. Mom, please, I whispered. One word came back. Cold, empty. Leave. I packed 2 shirts. That's all I could think of. And when I stepped outside, I waited. Just for a second, I thought maybe she would stop me. She didn't. The door closed. And this time, it felt louder than anything I had ever heard. Because in that moment, I realized something terrifying. I wasn't being thrown out of my home. I was being thrown out of a place that was never really mine. But what I didn't know was that someone had been watching everything. Silently, carefully. She knew the truth. She always had. She just hadn't spoken yet. Grandma. And when she finally does, this isn't just going to be about a missing book. It's going to destroy everything they thought was real. That first night, I didn't cry, not because I was strong, but because I was still in shock. I sat on a broken bench near the corner shop, still holding that same bag. The one with just 2 shirts. People walked past me like I didn't exist. And maybe I didn't. You don't realize how invisible you are until the place that gave you an identity takes it away. I kept replaying everything in my head. Every word, every look, every second. Check her bag. That line kept echoing, over and over again. At the time, it felt like suspicion, but now, it felt like something else, like a setup. I shook my head. No, Ayan wouldn't do that. I said it out loud, as if saying it would make it true, because no matter how unfair things were, he was still my brother, right? The night got colder. I pulled my bag closer and rested my head against the wall. My stomach was empty, but the hunger didn't hurt as much as the silence. No one called. Not my mom, not Ayan. That's when it hit me. They weren't waiting for me to come back. They had already moved on. I don't remember falling asleep, but I remember waking up to a voice. Child, what are you doing here? I opened my eyes slowly, and for a second, I thought I was dreaming. Daddy? She stood there, wrapped in her old shawl, looking at me like she already knew everything. Not confused, not shocked, just certain. How long have you been here? She asked softly. I tried to sit up. I'm fine, I said quickly. The kind of fine that breaks if you say it twice. She didn't argue. She didn't ask too many questions. She just said one thing. Come with me. And for some reason, I did. Her house wasn't far. Small, quiet, warm in a way my own house never felt. The moment I stepped inside, something shifted. Not outside, inside me. She handed me a glass of water. Then food. Real food. Hot. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I took the first bite. And then I couldn't stop. She sat across from me, watching, not judging, not questioning, just waiting. And that's when it happened. The tears. They came out of nowhere. Fast, heavy, uncontrollable. I didn't take it, I said between breaths. I swear. I didn't take it. I know, she replied. I froze. You know? She nodded. Calm, certain, and in that moment, something inside me lit up. Hope. But how? I asked. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she stood up slowly and walked toward her cupboard. She opened it, took something out, and placed it on the table. My heart stopped. It was a savings book, but not just any savings book. The savings book, the one I was accused of stealing. My hand started shaking. Where did you get this? She looked at me. And for the first time, there was something different in her eyes. Not just calm. Anger. I've been watching this house longer than you think, she said quietly. Every word she spoke felt heavy, like it carried something bigger. I didn't say anything before, she continued, because I wanted to be sure. Sure of what? I whispered. She leaned slightly closer. Of who was lying. A chill ran down my spine. Ayan, I said slowly. She didn't say his name, but she didn't have to. He came here yesterday, she said. My breath caught. He thought I wasn't home. Every word now felt like a piece of a puzzle. Finally coming together. I saw him, she continued. He went straight to your mother's cupboard. No, I whispered. But deep down, I already knew. He took the book, she said. And when he heard the gate outside, she paused. He panicked. And hid it, here. The room went silent. I couldn't move. I couldn't think. All this time, all that pain, it wasn't an accident. It was a choice. And the worst part? He let me take the blame. My chest tightened. Why would he do that? I asked. Dottie looked at me carefully. Because he knew, she said slowly, that no one would question him. That line hit harder than anything else. Because it was true, not just about that day, but about everything. All those years, all those moments. He was protected, and I was replaceable. But why didn't you tell them? I asked. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she said something that changed everything. Because sometimes, she paused, the truth needs the right moment to hurt. I looked at her, confused. What do you mean? She leaned back slightly. They didn't just accuse you, she said. They chose not to trust you. Silence. And now, she continued, They need to feel what that choice costs. For the first time, I understood. This wasn't just about clearing my name anymore. This was about something bigger. Something deeper. Justice. And maybe just a little bit of revenge. Dottie placed her hand over mine. "You're not going back the same person," she said. I looked at the savings book. Then back at her. "Then how am I going back?" I asked. She gave a small, knowing smile. "You're not going back." Pause. "Until they come looking for you." My heart skipped. What if they don't? She looked straight into my eyes. "They will. And when they do," her voice dropped slightly, "they won't be ready for the truth." 3 days. That's how long it took. 3 days of silence. No calls. No messages. No apologies. And just when I started believing they wouldn't come, there was a knock on the door. Soft, hesitant. My heart started racing. Dottie didn't move. She just looked at me like she already knew. "Open it," she said. My legs felt heavy as I walked toward the door. Every step louder than the last. I opened it slowly, and there she was. My mother, but something was different. Her eyes, they weren't angry. They weren't cold. They were scared. "Can I come in?" she asked. That question alone felt strange. This was the same woman who told me to leave. Without a second thought, I stepped aside. She walked in quietly. Then I saw him. Ayan, standing behind her. For the first time in my life, he didn't look confident. He looked nervous. Dottie stayed seated, calm, silent. No one spoke for a few seconds. And in that silence, everything felt heavier than words. "We need to talk," my mom finally said. I didn't respond. I just stood there, waiting. She looked at me, then at Dottie, then back at me again. "The bank called this morning," she said slowly. My heartbeat stopped. "They said someone tried to access the account yesterday." I felt the air shift. "They asked for ID verification." She paused. "And the name they gave?" Silence. Ayan. I didn't look at him. I didn't need to. Because in that moment, everything was already clear. I can explain," he said quickly. His voice cracked. "That was new." "Explain what?" I asked quietly. For the first time, my voice didn't shake. He swallowed. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." I let out a small, bitter laugh. "Then how far did you mean for it to go?" No answer. "Just enough for me to get thrown out?" I continued. "Still nothing. I was going to return it," he said. "When?" I asked. Silence again. "After I spent it?" he whispered. That was it. That one sentence destroyed whatever was left. My mother stepped back slightly, like she had just realized something. Too late. She looked at him. "You took it?" "I just needed money," he said defensively. "So you blamed her?" She snapped. "I didn't blame her." "You suggested it," I said. He looked at me, and for the first time, there was no confidence left in his eyes, just fear. Dottie finally spoke. "I saw him," she said calmly. All heads turned to her. "He came to the house, took the book, hid it." Every word landed like a hammer. My mother's face changed. Not anger, not shock, something worse. Realization. She turned to me slowly. And I saw it. Regret. She tried to speak, but no words came out. "Because what do you say when you choose the wrong child?" "I asked you," I said quietly. Her eyes filled with tears. "I told you I didn't take it." "I know," she whispered. "No," I shook my head. "You didn't know. You chose not to believe me." Silence. Heavy. Painful. "You didn't even hesitate," I continued. "I'm your daughter." My voice cracked slightly. "And you threw me out like I was nothing." Tears rolled down her face now. "I made a mistake," she said. I looked at her. And for the first time, I felt something I didn't expect. Not anger. Not sadness. Distance. A quiet, empty distance. "Yeah," I said softly. "You did." Another silence. Then she stepped closer. "Come home," she said. Those 2 words once meant everything. Now, they felt small. I looked at Dottie. She didn't say anything. She didn't have to. Because this choice was mine. I turned back to my mother. "I don't have a home there anymore," I said calmly. Her face broke. "I'll fix everything," she said quickly. "I promise." You can't fix trust, I replied. Silence again. Ayan tried to speak. I'm sorry. Don't, I cut him off. Because some apologies don't deserve to be heard. I took a step back. For years, I tried to be enough, I said. I tried to earn something that should have been given. My voice was steady now. Strong. But I'm done trying. I looked at both of them. This is what your choice cost. And for the first time, they understood. Not through words, but through loss. My mother slowly nodded. Not because she agreed, but because she finally had no control left. They left quietly. No shouting. No drama. Just silence. The same silence they once gave me. But this time, it didn't break me. It freed me. I walked back inside. Daddy was still sitting there. She looked at me and smiled. Not proudly, but peacefully. You're stronger than you think, she said. I sat beside her, and for the first time in my life, I felt something real, not approval, not validation, but peace. And as I looked at that savings book one last time, I realized something. They didn't lose money that day. They lost me. It's strange how life changes, not all at once, but slowly, quietly, in ways no one notices at first. The first week after they left was the hardest, not because I missed them, but because I kept remembering who I used to be around them, the girl who waited for approval, the girl who explained herself, even when she was right, the girl who thought love had to be earned. That girl didn't disappear overnight, but she started fading. Daddy never forced me to talk about it again. She didn't say things like forget them, or they'll regret it. She just gave me something I never had before, space. And in that space, I started rebuilding myself. It began with small things, waking up early, helping Daddy around the house, finding a part-time job at a small stationery shop nearby. The pay wasn't much. But for the first time, every rupee I earned felt like proof that I could survive. Without them, days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and slowly, pain turned into something else. Focus. I went back to studying, not to impress anyone, not to prove anything, just for me. Late nights, dim lights, books spread across the floor, no one comparing me, no one interrupting me, just silence and progress. And then one day, everything shifted again. My result came. I stared at the screen for a long time. Not moving, not breathing, top position, again. But this time, there was no one to show, no one to impress. And somehow, that made it feel even better. I smiled. Not wide, not loud, just quietly, because this time, it was mine. Months later, I got an opportunity, a scholarship, a big one, the kind of opportunity people dream about. And when I got the acceptance email, I didn't cry. I just sat there, thinking about one thing. If they could see me now, and then life gave me that moment. I was walking past the same street, the same house. I didn't plan it. I didn't expect it. But there they were, standing outside. My mother and Ayan. For a second, time froze. They saw me, and I saw something I never thought I would. Hesitation. They didn't call my name immediately. They just looked, like they weren't sure if they had the right anymore. I kept walking. Slowly, calmly, not running, not avoiding, just walking forward. Wait. My mother's voice. I stopped, but I didn't turn immediately. Not like before, not instantly. After a few seconds, I looked back. She walked closer, carefully, like every step mattered. I heard, she said softly, about your results. I nodded. I'm proud of you. That sentence once meant everything. Now, it felt late. I hope you are, I replied calmly. She looked down. Ayan didn't say anything. He couldn't. Because some guilt doesn't need words. You've changed, she said. I looked at her. No, I said quietly. I just stopped waiting. Silence. Heavy. I miss you, she whispered. That one almost reached me. Almost. But not enough. Because memories don't disappear. They just stay quieter. I don't hate you, I said. Her eyes lifted. But I'm not the same person anymore. That was the truth. The real revenge wasn't shouting. It wasn't hurting them back. It was this. Peace. Distance. Control. I hope you're okay, I added. And I meant it. Because healing doesn't come from hate. It comes from letting go. I turned again. And this time, I didn't stop. No looking back. No hesitation. Just forward. Because some endings aren't loud, they're quiet, and that's what makes them powerful. As I walked away, I realized something. They didn't just lose a daughter that day. They lost the version of me that would have stayed.